his six gun. There was magic in his name, and I always tried to be him when we played our cowboy games. I stood in line to see him right across our small town screen, and in my mind's eye I rode with him in every scene. And he would ride off in the sunset with that friendly western smile. Ride off in the sunset, no goodbyes, just so long for a while.
Howdy partners, I'm Sunset Cuddy, and welcome to Six Gun Theater. On this program, we will celebrate the sagebrush superheroes of the golden age of the Hollywood B-Western. Classic Western films, which were made on sets much like the one you see behind me. On these sets, you'd likely find cameramen, directors, producers, and those daredevil stars who all work together to produce some of the most electrifying and entertaining motion pictures ever made. Films that thrilled action-hungry audiences of the 1930s and 1940s. On this episode, we spotlight one of the most prolific Western film producers and screenwriters, Oliver Drake. Drake was born on May 28, 1903, in Boise, Iowa, and initially began his career as an actor, before turning his attention to directing and screenwriting. Drake directed over 41 films and wrote over 150 films and television productions over his impressive career. Additionally, Drake also owned his own ranch in Pear Blossom, California, where many B-Westerns were shot, including today's movie, Deadline, released in 1948 and starring the great Sunset Carson. Oliver Drake passed away on August 19, 1991, but is still fondly remembered by B-Western aficionados as one of the finest helmsmen of the genre. Get ready to ride with old Sunset Carson in his 1948 Oliver Drake production, Deadline.
Any news from the East, Sunset?
President Lincoln said he's going to lower the taxes.
Every president says that, but nothing happens. What else?
Nothing except the Pony Express is going out of business. This is my last trip. They're keeping the stage and freight lines going.
Well, I'm quitting anyway. I'm going to work for the telegraph. The line's strung as far as Big Rock Creek, and the tailors are needing men.
Well, so long.
Adios.
Horses loose.
Howdy, partner. Looks like you might be in need of a little assistance.
How about starting with a drink of water?
Sure thing.
Before inquiring as to your apparent difficulties, I might introduce myself. I'm Dr. Snodgrass.
T. Monroe Snodgrass, best dentist this side of Denver.
And this is Joe, my assistant, and most outspoken admirer.
My name's Sunset Carson.
Glad to know you,
Howdy.
Sunset. Howdy.
Say, how come you're afoot?
It's a long story. Which way you headed?
To Big Rock Creek. The telegraph construction camp is near there. Wherever you find a bunch of workmen, you'll find fights. Fights mean loose teeth and business.
And if there ain't enough fights, we start 'em. Gotta make an honest dollar, you know.
I get you. Then after the fight I just had, it's a wonder I got a tooth left.
A quick examination will only cost you $1. Joe, the spreader.
Hey, wait a minute. My teeth's all right.
You better make sure.
For a silver dollar, what do you gotta lose?
Time. I'm a rider for the Pony Express Company. I've got mail to deliver. How about going to Big Rock Creek with you?
Well, climb aboard, son. We'll have you to town and nothing flat.
Say, who was killed?
I'll tell you about it on the way.
Let's go.
Thanks for the ride, Doc. I'll see you as soon as I deliver the mail.
Don't mention it.
Here's the mail, Mr. Blake.
You're 5 hours late, Sunset. What caused the delay?
I reached Gunsight. I found a station agent murdered. 3 men slugged me and knocked me out.
You're lucky they didn't kill you, too. Poor Jed. The Pony Express goes out of business today, and he had to get killed.
I wonder what them bandits were after.
They were only interested in one particular letter. When I came to, the mail was scattered all over the ground. The only thing missing was a letter from this envelope. It's addressed to a Miss Martha Taylor
I'm Martha Taylor, and I was expecting a very important letter from the East.
from the Western Union.
Yes. My father had the contract to build the telegraph line from Sacramento to Bridges Crossing. He was shot a few weeks ago. Since then, my brother Tom and I have tried to carry on.
We've had nothing but trouble, one delay after another. We wrote George Austin, the representative of the telegraph, asking for more time to complete the contract.
The reply must have been favorable, or someone wouldn't have tried to steal that letter.
I'm sorry, Miss Taylor. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
You've done enough already, Mr. Gilbert, and it hasn't been of help.
While we're on this subject, Spade, I want to give you a little warning. Don't hire any more of our men away, and don't invite them over to your ranch for free food and liquor.
Well, if some of your men want to quit and hire out to me, that's entirely up to them. I run a big outfit, you know that. I can always use a little more help. I consider it very unkind to refuse anybody a bite to eat or a little friendly drink.
If you keep interfering with our work, I'll take a wrecking crew out to your ranch and tear it apart.
You better think twice about that, Tom. Some of my men can do a little wrecking themselves.
I feel somewhat responsible for this trouble, Miss Taylor. My name's Sunset Carson. In about 15 minutes, I'll be looking for a new job. If you could use a good hand, I'd like to help you put up that telegraph line.
I'll certainly accept your offer, Mr. Carson. This is my brother Tom, and my superintendent, Grant Dawson.
Glad to know you,
Grant.
Carson. We'll be leaving for camp in about an hour. You can find us over at the store.
I'll be with you as soon as I make out my report to the express office and saddle a horse.
Howdy, folks. How about trying a bottle of my famous gargle?
How do you like?
Howdy, partner. How about trying some of my famous gargle? Only costs 1 simoleon, just $1. It's good for what ails you.
Can you really pull teeth, Doc?
Can I pull teeth? My friend, you don't know how fortunate you are Dr. P. Monroe Snodgrass hit this town. Sit down. We'll go right to work.
But, Doc! Quiet, quiet. We'll give you something to put you to sleep.
You ain't gonna give me nothing.
Now open your mouth. That's it. A little wider. Uh-huh. Now, bad case if I ever saw one. Uh-huh. You need glasses.
Listen, you stupid ape. I ain't got the loose tooth. I was going to tell you about a friend of mine. He's got the bum tooth. Well, that's okay, pal. We won't charge you for the examination.
I'm very sorry, my friend.
You'll be sorrier whenever I get through fixing your teeth up.
Hold it, Pete. I got a tooth to be yanked. Don't mess up the doc till he gets the job done.
Okay, Trigger.
You look like you've been in a fight.
Yeah, I got the worst of it, too.
Shut up and go to work. My jaw's killing me.
Well, sit down. We'll give you something to knock you out.
I'm watching what goes on.
Open your mouth. Uh-huh. Looks like a tough bit of dental extraction. I'll need some more cotton. Fine sunset. He ought to get a look at these birds. And get a roll of cotton, some more gauze, and a bottle of bourbon. He's liable to need a drink after this.
Gotcha, Doc.
Now just take it easy. We'll have you fixed in no time.
Hey, Sunset. There's a couple of birds over in Doc's wagon. I think you ought to give a once-over. One's all battered up. In a heck of a fight.
Thanks, I'll take a look.
Now just be patient, Trigger. I'll have your tooth out in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Hurry it up. I ain't got all day.
Looks like you've been in quite a scrape, partner. The other fellow get hurt much?
What's it to you?
Plenty. Roll up your right sleeve. I want to see your arm.
You got a lot of nerve. Beat it before I get mad.
I said roll up your sleeve. I want to see your arm. Thanks, Grant. You saved me from stopping a slug.
Martha's the one to thank. You saw Pete about to plug you in the back and call my attention to him.
Then I'm obliged to both of you. Roll up your right sleeves. You can roll them down and get going.
Boy, what a fight. I'll bet all of Trigger's teeth are loose now.
I'm glad we have you working for us, Sunset. I wouldn't want you for an enemy.
I don't want to seem personal, Sunset, but I'm curious as to why you looked at their arms.
No reason why I shouldn't tell you, Grant. You saved my life. One of the 3 men that held up the express office this morning had a scar on his right arm above the wrist. An odd-shaped scar, looked like a half moon. During the fight, I tore his shirt sleeve off and got a good look at it.
So when you find a man with that kind of a scar on his arm, you'll know who stole the letter.
And the one who killed the express agent.
Well, I hope you locate your man. I'm sure I'll keep an eye open for him. I'll be out to camp later. I'm riding over to Deer Creek to check on some telegraph poles.
I hope they can supply them. We're nearly out.
How about me and my assistant going to work for you, ma'am?
Yeah, this dentist business sure ain't paying off.
We need all the help we can get, Dr. Snodgrass.
Yeah, we'll hire your wagon, too.
You made a deal. Come on, Joe.
Well, it's about time you got here.
I just couldn't walk out on the boss without some sort of an excuse.
Well, why don't you use your head for something beside a hat rack, Grant? You should have finished off that Pony Express right when you had the chance.
What are you complaining about? I got the letter, didn't I? That's what we were interested in.
I know you did. But you left the envelope. If you hadn't, Sunset Carson wouldn't have known what letter was stolen.
And something else, smart guy. Why did you shoot the gun out of my hand when I tried to plug Sunset?
I couldn't do anything else, Pete. Martha and her brother were with me, and I couldn't take a chance on them getting wise to me. It's a nice place you got here, Spade. It's a relief to be able to wash without using some muddy creek. When I get through with this job, I'm going to buy me a ranch just like this.
Well, you can buy a couple of them if we play our cards right. We've got to keep the telegraph line from reaching Bridges Crossing. Now, the Taylors don't have enough money to hold out very long. And when they go broke, we'll take over the contract and run the wires right through my ranch. I've got 100,000 acres here worth $1 an acre right now. It'll be worth plenty when the telegraph line runs through.
You're right, Spade. Transportation and civilization always follow the telegraph.
Well, there's big money ahead for all of us if we're smart. Now, we've got to keep supplies from reaching the Taylors. Martha will probably write another letter to Washington. But with the Pony Express out of business, it'll be a month before she gets a reply. And by then, I think we'll have things in our own hands.
Bill, Dale, we better get back to camp before we're missed.
Just fine, Doc. We run more lines in the last few days than we have in the past couple of weeks.
I'm mighty glad to hear that. Message for you, Miss Taylor.
Thank you, Shorty. You're going to stay overnight, aren't you, and give us a little music and a song?
Well, it's mighty nice of you to ask me. I sure will.
Hey, Sunset.
Just a minute.
A message just came in from Cottonwood.
Important news?
Yes, a load of poles is coming through Big Rock from the Deer Creek Mill. Looks like your visit there must have done some good.
That is news. Now, if the express company brought in our new shipment of wire, we're in good shape. I'll ride into town and check on it.
If we can keep the Deer Creek Mill turning out those telegraph poles for us, we'll be able to reach Bridges Crossing in time to fulfill that contract.
That's too much to hope for, Martha. The minute we start making progress, Spade Gilbert will see to it that something goes wrong. If you only knew what Austin said in that letter.
You'll hear from him before long. Meantime, it might be a good idea for us to escort that load of poles to camp. We don't want anything to happen to him.
I'm riding into town to find out about some wire. Got to have a good alibi for Martha. After you destroy the poles, check with me.
Right. get on off that wagon.
Pete, you take charge of the telegraph poles. Burn them or dump them off the first high cliff you come to.
I'll take charge of that wagon. I thought you and Pete'd be mixed up in this. Take the wagon on into camp, Henry. Get your guns, Tom. Hurt bad, Henry?
Just a smashed shoulder. Nothing serious.
Here. Tom, bring my horse. I'll take the wagon on into camp.
I'll be riding on the range that I love.
about you and Tom Sunset.
From the looks of things, you must have run into some trouble.
Yeah, does that surprise you?
2 men stopped the wagon. They were Trigger and Pete, Spade's gunfighters.
Well, this time their scheme didn't work. We beat them to the pass in time to save the poles.
Doc, you know something about wounds. Give me a hand with his shoulder.
You can depend on me.
All right, boys, help them unload the poles. Martha, someone in this camp's trying to double-cross you. Someone heard you tell about the telegraph poles you were expecting today.
No, not that I noticed.
Gilbert probably had men watching the mill. When he saw the wagon leave, he took after them.
Well, anyway, we have the poles and the wire to go on them. Grant just brought in a new supply.
How long has Grant been working for you, Martha?
Ever since we started construction. But it's ridiculous to suspect him. Anyway, he just brought in the wire.
Yeah, and remember, he saved your life.
That's right. Mind if I talk to the men?
You seem to be able to get more work out of the crew than Grant, so go ahead.
You all know Miss Taylor has only 10 days to complete the telegraph line to Bridges Crossing. If she fails, she will lose her contract. If she loses the contract, the Taylor Construction Company will go broke. You don't want that to happen, do you?
No! How about that, Martha? No!
That's the spirit, and a nice reward. How does that sound to you?
We're with you! We're with you all the way.
Thanks.
Somebody in this camp's a snake in the grass. We gotta find out who.
Sounds easy, but it isn't.
The poles are on fire. Go, man, let's play.
The car didn't start by itself, Martha. Someone in this camp started it.
Finding the guilty man will be a tough job, Sunset.
It's some more Spade Gilbert's work.
Only you can't prove it.
Is there anything in your contract that says you have to string wire on poles?
No. My father agreed to run the line from Angel's Camp to Bridges Crossing in 180 days. The contract doesn't specify any certain number of poles.
And the line's going through regardless. Men, wash up and turn in. Tomorrow morning we're going ahead. If we run out of poles, we'll use trees, brush. We'll string wire on anything above ground.
Yeah! Yeah, I'm in!
All right. Tom, pick a guard, someone you can trust. We don't want to lose this wire.
Judd, you talk. You take the first shift.
We're quitting, Miss Taylor, and I want my pay now.
But you can't leave. We only have a few days left to finish the line.
We didn't hire office labor. We've been working day and night, and we're sick of it.
Boys, you can't let Miss Taylor down. You know she's up against a tough proposition.
That ain't my fault. We're through.
Did Spade Gilbert put you up to this?
I'm old enough to make up my own mind.
You're old enough, but not smart enough. I've got a hunch you could tell us who set fire to those telegraph poles. Not so fast, boys. Now get on your horses and get going. Miss Taylor will send you money to Big Rock Creek.
I'm going to ride into town and try to hire some more laborers.
I certainly hope you succeed, Grant.
It won't do any good, sis. We'll never be able to reach Bridges Crossing in time to fulfill our contract. It's over a month since that letter from Austin was stolen. You wrote him the next day, but we still haven't received a reply.
You should hear from Austin any day now. With the Pony Express out of business, the mail has to come by stagecoach.
I may be gone a couple of days, Martha, so don't worry. If I can't get any men in Big Rock Creek, I'll go on over to Lone Pine.
Where Bill and Gilbert are headed, but we're going to visit Spade's ranch and give it to once over.
You think Gilbert had anything to do with stealing that letter from Sis?
That's what I think, but we still got to find out why.
Guess we got here first, all right. The ranch looks deserted.
Soon find out, but keep your eyes open for trouble. Don't seem to be anybody inside. Take a look at this, Tom.
It's from George Austin.
This is probably why Gilbert has been trying to stop you and your sister from finishing the telegraph line. He bid against you for the contract. See what else we can find.
Here's part of the letter that was stolen, Sunset. We must have additional time to finish the line if this is the letter that was taken from you.
That letter's right. Austin's due to leave Bridges Crossing today.
Maybe that's why none of Gilbert's men are around. They're probably on their way to Bridges Crossing to ambush Austin.
You're a very clever young man, Tom.
Very interesting letters, Spade. Especially the one you stole from me.
Shut up. This is the last time you'll do any snooping around.
We don't have to do any more snooping. Your cards are face up. We know how you're playing.
And as usual, I'm holding the winning hand. With Austin out of the way and the telegraph line unfinished, it won't be difficult for me to persuade the government to give me the contract.
And Tom was right about your gang being on their way to get Austin.
Mm-hmm. They left yesterday afternoon. Not that the information will do you any good. All right, outside, boys. We're going to take a little trip. I might say a one-way journey.
You heard the boss. Move.
You're wrong about the information not doing us any good, Spade. Tie him up, Tom.
Turn around and put your hands behind your back.
It's too late to save Austin, Sunset. It's over 60 miles to Bridges Crossing. No horse can make that run in one afternoon. You know that.
You forget I was a Pony Express rider. The relay horses are still at the station. They're going to get a real workout today. Come on, Tom. We've got a lot of hard riding to do. You boys get saddled and come with us. Martha, you ride ahead to the Gunside Relay Station and have fresh horses ready for us.
But I don't understand what this is all about, Sunset.
We'll explain later, but right now we got to save George Austin from being murdered.
Miss Taylor's going on ahead to Oak Flats. She'll have mounts ready for you there.
Grant, you said you'd help me find a man with that kind of scar. For once, you kept your word.
folks, step right up. Dr. Snodgrass is now retiring from the dental profession.
Hooray!
I'll just ignore that. I'm going to work for Miss Taylor. I'm now going to auction off all my dental equipment, wagon, and horses. Who'll give me a bid? $4.
Sold to the man on his knees.
Wait a minute. You don't own this equipment. I have $4.
About my salary.
Do I hear more?
I'll make it 15.
Sold.
Mister, you bought yourself a business. Congratulations. Be sure and spell my name right on the check.
Hey, painkiller.
Folks, the agent of Bridges Crossing reports the line in and working. Mr. George Austin has signed a new contract with the Taylor Construction Company. We're going to run the telegraph south into Arizona. Sunset Carson is to be the chief engineer.
Well, partners, it's time for old Sunset to hit the trail. But before I go, I wanted to tell you how you can get in touch with me. You may reach me via email at sunsetcuddy@gmail.com. And you may also join the brand new Sunset Cuddy Sharpshooters Club on Facebook, where we will discuss the old westerns and your favorite cowboy heroes. Now, partners, I want to leave you with some parting words to remember as you begin your week ahead. Go out into the world in peace. Have courage. Hold on to what is good. Return no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the suffering. Honor all persons. Love and serve the Lord. Rejoicing in the power of the Holy Spirit. Amen. See you on the trail, partners.
There was justice in his 6-gun. There was magic in his name. And I always tried to be him when we played our cowboy games. I stood in line to see him right across our small town screen. And in my mind's eye, I rode with him in every scene. And he would ride off in the sunset with that friendly western smile. Ride off in the sunset, no goodbyes, just so long.